Based on the approaches to helping people, immediate physical help, long-term support through work, ethically and morally, materially, professionally by doing good deeds, learning good things, and through ethical wisdom that we've discussed, we're now going to look at how to apply these to 4 different groups of people who need help. What I'll call the dependent beggar group, the general populace, the potential group, and the high impact group. Within these 4 groups, a small segment falls into the urgent need category. For these situations, we need to act immediately. Think about someone with a broken leg who needs to get to the hospital now, or someone who's starving and needs a glass of milk just to keep going. These are emergencies that require instant help. But let me ask you this. How often in life do we actually face these kinds of urgent situations? Is it really that common? People literally dying of hunger or in critical accidents. That's just not the typical scenario in most volunteer work. No. So, this urgent need group is really a special case and not the norm, so we won't spend too much time analyzing it right now. Of course, when we encounter these emergencies, we still need to jump in and help. But the reality is, most of the time when you're doing charitable work, you're dealing with a different group, the dependent beggar group. When you go to a low-income neighborhood with, say, 100 families and you pick out the 20 poorest to help, do you ever stop and wonder, why are they so poor? Often, the deep-seated reason is a dependency mindset and a habit of begging. Someone who works hard, who takes responsibility for their own life, someone with self-respect basically, it's rare for them to end up desperately poor. We need to really think about this. And the truth is, a lot of businesses are wrestling with this problem right now. They often try to help by giving money, but they're giving it to people who are in this dependent beggar category. The result? It's just not very effective, and they get stuck in this endless cycle. This tiny little rectangle I'm drawing here, this is what that cycle looks like. Back when I was involved in BNI, a chapter with 65 business owners, we'd organize 3 to 5 charity events a year, and we'd always run into this same problem. We'd work our tails off to make money, save up a few 100 million Vietnamese dong, and then go do charity like this. But after the second time I participated, I just had to shake my head and think, doing it this way isn't really solving anything, because giving money just makes the dependent group even more dependent. The money runs out, and we don't have the patience or time to help them build stable careers. You see what I mean? I'd bet that 95% of charitable work in Vietnam today is stuck in this rut, and I'm pretty sure that even 100 years from now, this approach won't help many people actually escape poverty. To give you a clearer picture, think about a hospital. Who needs more help? A cleaning lady or the hospital director? Over your lifetime, how many cleaning ladies can you really help? Maybe 1 a year. So in 30 years, you help 30. That's about it. Helping a security guard or someone begging on the street is similar. The number of people you can help is very limited. This is small-scale, individual help that doesn't create big changes. Now let's think differently. Instead of small-scale help, what if you spent 2 whole years focusing on building a relationship with the hospital director? After 2 years of becoming friends, you find a way to help him. Encourage him to take a course on ethical leadership, on the moral responsibilities of a doctor. If he finds the course really valuable, he might decide to send 500 of his doctors and nurses for ethics training. If 500 doctors and nurses improve their ethics, they'll provide better care to patients. That means 5,000 patients get better care every day. Multiply that by 300 working days a year, and you've got 1.5 million patient visits benefiting. So, who's doing wholesale help and who's doing retail help? Do you see the difference between wholesale and retail now? When you do charity, you need to think about going wholesale. creating a big impact, spreading help to a lot of people. And to do that, helping high-impact people is incredibly important. A high-impact person can influence hundreds around them. Those hundreds then spread that influence to thousands more. This is focused and effective helping. However, why do we still need to help ordinary people and even the dependent beggar group? The simple answer is we haven't built the habit of helping yet. This habit of helping needs to be developed. So, start practicing helping people. The direct impact on the person you help might not be obvious right away, but the first important thing is that your own heart of kindness starts to grow. If you've never helped anyone in your life, and now you make an effort to help, even just once or twice a month, your compassionate, kind heart will gradually blossom. This is incredibly important. Once that kindness starts to develop, you'll see something amazing happen. People will start coming to you for help. They see you're someone who helps others, word gets around, and people tell each other. Eventually you'll realize you don't have enough time to help everyone, because your list of people needing help is too long. That's when you naturally move to stage 2, focusing on helping high-impact people. That's also why at BKE Courses we have a policy of free tuition for 2 special groups. First, civic education teachers get a full scholarship for all courses, no fees at all. Second, journalists get the same deal. Do you realize how influential journalists are? An article by a journalist in a major newspaper can get millions of views. Their influence is even bigger than teachers. A teacher might influence about 50 students a year, 500 in 10 years, 1,000 in 20. So, on average, a teacher will influence maybe 1,000 to 3,000 students in their career, depending on class size and where they teach. Plus, a teacher's influence is really deep because they're with students for a whole school year. If a teacher is bad, it can negatively affect a student for life. But a teacher who teaches with love and understanding can guide and change a student's life for the better. You know, I went to school from 1st grade to 12th grade, but now I only clearly remember a few teachers. The rest are just vague memories. But I especially remember my old physics teacher who taught me for free. His class was 6 days a week, 3 days paid, 3 days free. Because of those 3 free days, I could attend both classes and choose which one was better for me. I only studied with him for about a month, but it helped me learn physics really well on my own, and I used his class as a resource. Even though he passed away a long time ago, I still remember him. I remember him because of his generous heart, offering free physics classes for poor students. He started free classes to give opportunities to students who couldn't afford it. Students who could afford it signed up for the paid class. Parents voluntarily paid what they could. See, helping teachers is clearly helping high-impact people. Journalists are also high-impact people. What about a teacher's boss, the principal? Are they high-impact? Definitely. What about the editor-in-chief of a newspaper? Huge impact. Later on, when you meet principals, vice principals, editors-in-chief, remember to invite them to our courses. For editors-in-chief, we can offer a full scholarship. For principals and vice principals, it depends, maybe free, maybe not, because they're usually not struggling financially. Teachers are often poorer, especially civic education teachers. They're really poor. Making practically no money and still teaching ethics. It's a real paradox and kind of sad. But we have to understand ethics is priceless. You can't put a price on it. And because it's priceless, sometimes people hesitate to charge for teaching it. That's how it is. If you choose to teach ethics, you have to grit your teeth and stay honest, even when it's tough. Teaching ethics requires real strength. Otherwise, it's easy to lose your way. After the high-impact group, we prioritize the potential group. If a provincial governor is high-impact, who's potential? The governor's wife, the governor's kids, those are potential people. Let's say you've spent 2 years trying to befriend the governor and it's not working out. Then switch your focus to targeting his wife. Find out which supermarket she goes to, and then, coincidentally, be there at the same time. Maybe accidentally bump into her, drop her groceries, quickly pick them up, apologize, offer to replace anything damaged. Women are usually easier to talk to. Then just casually mention, "My husband works all day, comes home late, and sometimes he's been drinking." Trust me, every governor is busy like that. Just gently get the conversation going, and she'll connect with that right away and start telling you all about her husband for ages. Invite her for coffee, listen, nod sympathetically, and suddenly you're like sisters. Pretty simple, right? And just like that, you've hunted a potential person. Next time you're at the supermarket, you two sisters chat again. Then one day you give her a 1210 Dharma talk speaker. You say, "Try listening to this speaker. I think the talks are really good. Listening to it will definitely help you feel less frustrated when your husband comes home late after drinking." She tries it out, and it actually works. Listening to these great talks by well-known teachers, she starts to feel calmer and less angry for no reason. She likes it so much she decides to let her husband listen too. And a new campaign begins. The wife starts playing the Dharma talk speaker by the bed for her husband to hear. For a month he ignores it. 2 months, still no reaction. But by the 6th month it starts to sink in. Slow and steady wins the race, right? He listens more and finally gets curious. "Hey, this is actually pretty good," he asks. "Where did you get this?" Now, the wife has a chance to introduce you in the courses. You just need to find a way to nudge the governor into coming to a class, and you've succeeded. See? After 2 years of persistence, you finally nudged him into the class. Once he's in the class, ethics and morality will start to sink in. At that point, it's not just about money anymore. At first, when you went to the supermarket, bought gifts, gave the speaker, that was initial material help. So, that initial immediate physical help, we need to weave in ethics and morality into the helping process. Then, it immediately gets elevated to a whole new level. You get it? Now, that small rectangle of help expands to include ethics and morality, becoming priority number 1, the top priority. Helping at this stage is wholesale helping. You help one governor, you're helping an entire province. I once donated about 500 Dharma talk speakers to the Ministry of Education in southern Vietnam, in the Ho Con Rua area. I donated so many because I knew an inspector there. My way of helping him was simple. One day he needed to go to Da Lat for a 2-day conference with education officials from several provinces meeting there. I volunteered to drive him in a 9-seater van with 4 to 5 other people going along. On the drive to Da Lat, after about an hour and a half of chatting, everyone started to get tired and doze off. I immediately turned on the Dharma talk speaker, Understanding the Heart, for everyone to listen to. Each Understanding the Heart talk is short, only about 12 minutes, then 3 minutes of music. So, for the remaining 4 hours of the trip, I just repeated and repeated the Understanding the Heart talks. Maybe 10 talks, played over and over. When we got out of the car, the inspector immediately asked, "Wow, this speaker is amazing." I said, "Don't worry. When we get there, I'll stuff another 6 hours into you." Sure enough, when we got back to Saigon, as soon as we got in the car, he said, "Turn it back on, I was really getting into it." I played it for another 6 hours. When we got to the Hokan Rua area, I stopped by his office and gave him a speaker. I went into his office and saw his secretary typing away, so I turned on the speaker for her to hear. She frowned. The first talk was suffering. The second was happiness. She said, "I'm not suffering. Why would I listen to something about suffering? It just gives me a headache." So I told the inspector, just ignore her. Don't pay attention, don't say anything. Later, after you have lunch and take a nap, just turn the speaker on quietly for yourself. Then say to her, "I forbid you to listen to this. You're not smart enough to understand it. Should just try that trick." Then I left. At 3 p.m. he called me. "Quan, bring me 2 more speakers. The secretary wants one." Turns out he took a nap, and by early afternoon, the secretary had already asked him for the speaker, saying, "It's really good, sir." She had been secretly listening and loved it. See, the great trick is getting them to learn ethics and morality, but in a secretly listening way. There's a friend here who's used this trick very successfully. He's Catholic. His mother, who's also Catholic, was hesitant to listen to Understanding the Heart at first, because she thought it might be too Buddhist. He bought a speaker, turned it on in his own room in their apartment. They lived in an apartment with 4 to 5 rooms. Then he called his mother in and told both his parents, "This speaker is just for my room. I'm playing it for my room and for myself. You two are not allowed to listen. Seriously, absolutely no listening. If I go out and forget to lock my door, you are still absolutely forbidden to go in and listen to this speaker." After that, he kept the speaker with him. Then, one day, a few days later, he pretended to forget the speaker at home. He went out for a few days, and when he came back, his mother said, "That speaker is really good, son." And that was game over for Mom. See? Setting the trap is easy. The point is, you make them curious, and then they're willing to listen. If you try to force them, they won't listen. So, weaving ethics and morality into the initial helping process, the material help, the personal connection, that's what boosts helping to a whole new level, making it much more effective. That's education, really. Okay, if helping the boss's wife doesn't work, then you switch to helping the boss's kids. Do you think there are any perfectly happy families? No way. Every family has issues, some more, some less. If they don't have problems with their spouse, they'll have problems with their kids. Kids misbehaving, not listening, doing poorly in school. That's when you find a way to tutor their kids, or recommend some courses for them. Maybe even pay for their kids to take classes. When their kids start doing better in school, changing for the better, they'll be grateful to you. Then they're much more likely to listen to you. You can say, "I don't need you to pay me back now. I just need you to come to this class and sit and listen quietly for 2 days. No talking, that's all." If they still don't want to come to class, that's okay. We can wait for another opportunity or keep playing the Dharma talk speaker for them. But the best thing is to nudge them into a 10-day meditation retreat. That's number 1, the ultimate goal. That's how you help potential people. So in a classroom, who's the potential person? In a classroom, the most high-impact person is the homeroom teacher. But who's the most potential person? The class monitor is potential, but there's someone even more potential than the class monitor. Who is it? It's the toughest kid in class, the class bully. If you can win over that tough kid, get him interested in learning, then the next day he comes to class, stands right at the door and announces, "Anyone who doesn't come to class, I'm gonna beat them up." And the whole class automatically shows up. Super effective. If you ask the class monitor to get everyone to come, you have to persuade them, explain everything. It's complicated and might not even work. So, Choose the toughest kid in class, convince him, and you're done. Simple. This potential candidate is really great and effective, remember that. Okay. After high-impact people and potential people, we prioritize ordinary people, people like us here. All right? And finally, after ordinary people, we prioritize the dependent beggar group. Because when you help the groups above, high impact and potential, naturally the groups below will also benefit, right? You help the governor, then naturally the people in the whole province benefit. Better policies get made, more schools get built, the economy improves, roads and bridges get better funding, because the governor is leading with more integrity. So, without even trying directly, you've helped those other groups too. That's the most effective way to help, remember that. In your career, it's the same thing. When you help someone professionally, try to weave in ethics and morality into the helping process. Our way of weaving in career help is pretty simple. 2 Juke School has an advantage because we have a system of over a dozen schools, so we get tons of job applications from teachers. New education graduates apply a lot. We get hundreds, even thousands of applications every month. It's normal. Our hiring process is really simple. We have a job application website with 3 steps. Step 1 is to download the application and fill in your information. Anyone can do that, right? Step 2 is to listen to 50 Understanding the Heart talks and summarize them, about 10 lines per talk. Applicants who listen to all 50 and write full summaries are rated highly. If they can't listen to all 50, even listening to 10 is okay. Actually, if applicants don't have time to listen, they can ask someone else to listen for them. The people listening also get a blessing, no problem with that. In a dorm room, one applicant could ask 10 roommates to listen, each person listening to 5 talks. Out of those 10 listeners, for sure about 3 will find Understanding the Heart really interesting. Then they'll listen to all 50 talks themselves, maybe even look into more books about ethics and morality. So, the applicant might not get the job, but the people around them are silently helped. See? The ripple effect is incredible. So, weaving in ethics and morality into the helping process isn't as hard as we think. Here, for those of you who've taken the Right View class and are in the group, I bet you get woven in from time to time, right? Every now and then I drop 30 human resource training talks to help the team become more connected and stable. Each week I ask you to listen to 2 or 3, then get together to summarize and share with each other. At first maybe there's some resistance, but after a month or 2, everything smooths out and the team becomes more connected again. Just try this method. Your team will become truly connected, not just fake connection, because I've used this method a lot and seen it work. When you study a collection of good books together, everyone's thinking naturally starts to become aligned. Once your thinking is aligned, you're all working towards the same goals. Everything just clicks. It's the same with husbands and wives. So you can see that by helping high impact and potential people and projecting ethics and morality into the helping process, we create priority number 1, the top priority. And for the dependent beggar group, if we can project ethics and morality into it, then helping them gets elevated to priority number 2.